What is happening, my friends? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or even the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. My friends, as always, I'm blessed to be speaking with you. I'm blessed that you take the time out of your busy schedule to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. You take time out of your precious uh day to just use 1 hour of your time to listen in, to tune in, however to join the conversation. Again, I truly appreciate it. I am your host, your friend Arrington Gavin. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at the Arrington Gavin Show, on X at the Arrington Gavin Show, as well as um Blue Sky at the Arrington Gavin Show, and check us out on Substack, the Arrington Gavin Show Substack. So, yes, we got some great stuff on there. We can stay up to speed, and just you know, I'll keep you updated with stuff, post shows, and things in that nature. Look, we got a lot of stuff to discuss. Within this hour, hopefully, I can get everything. I try to as best I could, as best I can, but we'll try and speak on it throughout the show. So a lot of turn events, a lot of stuff has occurred. Um, Post inauguration season, as you know, we have a new president that is Donald J. Trump. He's our 47th president. No, he wasn't. He did not win re-election, but he did run again. So this is his second time being president. He was the 45th president, as well as now the 47th president. Um, a lot of events had occurred during that inauguration, and just during that weekend. So I'll talk a little more with that. Also, uh, one of the Ball brothers, and for those who are confused on who are you talking about, Anderson, we know the Ball family, father LeVar Ball, who made a name for himself as just being the arrogant sports parent of three boys who he pushed to really success of what they are today. Two of them are, well, all four of them, excuse me, all three of them had played professional basketball. Two of them had better careers than one. One of them, I would say, is the star. You have uh Lonzo, LaMelo, and LiAngelo. LaMelo, I believe, is the youngest. He plays for the Hornets, Charlotte Hornets. He's quite the athlete and quite the star on the squad. Uh, Lonzo was the first that got drafted. He played for a few teams. I think he's currently on the Bulls, if I'm not mistaken. And then you had LiAngelo. LiAngelo struggled finding his position in the NBA. He did play overseas for quite some time, and now he has a new calling, and we'll share a little more about that on the show. Also, the popular music uh talk show, music video talk show 106 in Park. I watched it fairly regularly. I watched it during the era of um Roxy and Terrence J, but it had been on for quite some years. You had different co-hosts from the time, and it had ended years ago, but it's talking about making a comeback, so hopefully we can chop it up more on that. And if we have some time, I want to mention about a viral moment that happened in Georgia, actually in the state of Georgia, at the Georgia Capitol, where a GOP senator was pushed and arrested. We'll talk a little more why he was. And then also, TikTok is officially under a ban, U.S. ban. We've heard a lot on the news circuit, and on social media that the U.S. was going to be banning TikTok, which is owned by China, until they work out a deal for an American company or U.S. company to own and to buy out TikTok from the Chinese. Then it's like, okay, they're gonna ban it. So It's officially under a TikTok, excuse me, under a TikTok ban. Time is ticking. It's a little humor there, but but it's officially banned until the time being. I believe they shared a post on social media on how long this would last, and I'll talk a little more on the show. And then if we have some time, let me see. Am I missing anything that yeah. So we're gonna get it going. We're going to get going as always. But before I do that, I want to thank some of our proud supporters of the Arrington Gavin Show, like our friends over at Ingenious Gin. That is right, my friends, Ingenious Gin. Looking for a spirit as bold and refined as you? Introducing Ingenious Gin, craft with precision, infused with exotic botanicals, and balanced for the perfect sip every time. Whether you're savoring it neat, mixing the ultimate gin and tonic, or shaking up a classic cocktail, Ingenious Gin is your ticket to a moment of pure sophistication. Experience ingenuity in every drop. Find Ingenious Gin at your favorite store or shop online by going to ingeniousgin.com. You have to be 21 or over to purchase. Look, Ingenious Gin, crafted to inspire, and the gin for thinkers. Please, my friends, drink responsibly. I want to shout out and thank our supporters again over at our friends at Ingenious Gin. It is a black owned, veteran owned spirit line, and it is so delicious. Let me tell you, it is an amazing spirit. I myself was never a gin fan. I was more of a, bourbon, wine. That is my, brown and wine is my preference. But Ingenious Gin is very tasty. It's a great celebratory beverage. And yeah, check them out. Check them out. Support them. I want to thank them for being a proud supporter of the Arrington Gavin Show. Will not be able to keep the lights running without their support. So I want to thank them as always. And look, my friends, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Don't go anywhere. You are listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. Welcome back, my friends. Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm your host, your friend, your homie, Arrington Gavin. Welcome back. As always, we like to get it started with a quick fun fact before we get going on with our topics. Look, on today's fun fact, did you know that the first oranges weren't actually orange? Did you know? Says here that the original oranges were a cross between a tangerine and a paloma. Excuse me, a pomelo, not a paloma, a pomelo. And the original, excuse me, and they originated in Southeast Asia. All right. So the color was kind of like a half and half of a green and orange. I mean, it's a green color and an orange color. Very unique. So that was the first ever orange. So I'm trying in my mind, I'm like, okay, was it the orange probably more overpowering? So was that why they gave it the name an orange, even though it wasn't originally orange? It's quite, you never think about this stuff because, well, for one, I'm not like an orange connoisseur. I don't like, eat an orange and like, dude, like, I wonder if an orange was actually orange when it first originated. I don't know why I'm using like the bro voice. I just feel like whenever you think of just random thoughts, you have to have a bro voice like, bruh, like I wonder if like an orange was originally like the color orange. Like, did you ever think about that? Bro, like, yeah, that's what goes on my head. You're probably like, Arrington, what is the matter with you? Look, you guys don't think that? That I gotta have. Whenever I think of random thoughts, I have to have a voice. Like when you read something very educated, I feel you have to have educated. Like, did you know that the original this was the origin from France and this and like I feel like you have to talk with so sophisticated. Depending on what you're talking about, is like okay, I gotta change the tone of my voice. I gotta change the accent. Everything. I don't know. That's just me. Okay, let me move it on, guys. Let me get going with some of our topics. Let's see here. Let's see. What are we gonna start with first? Let me actually start it off because I've mentioned prior uh about Don Lemon. I'm a fan of Don. Don Lemon is a experienced journalist. Everyone will probably remember him from his time at CNN that he spent for about 17 years, really at the helm of being one of their number one anchors. There, he hosted his primetime show. I think Don Lemon Tonight, or yeah, Don Lemon Tonight, something like that. And he was at, I believe, the 10 p.m. slot, either the 10 or the 11. And he was a quite successful individual. Obviously, CNN went through this whole rebranding due to poor ratings, and so they said, "Well, look, let's go ahead and change Don's position. Change, let's start a new morning lineup, kind of mimic the Morning Joe show because at that time I believe his name was Chris Leach, who was he was one of the creators basically of Morning Joe. He came from MSNBC, successful with Morning Joe at the time. Morning Joe is one of the highest rated shows on MSNBC, and so Chris came with that idea to say, okay, let's kind of have a repeat of that and bring it to CNN. So he wanted to start he wanted to start a new morning show, move Don Lemon to the morning lineup, and that lasted not very long. And now Don Lemon was let go from CNN, and now he's on an independent street. He's created his own media company. He has his own show there. It's doing great. He has well over 100,000, maybe more. I could be, downgrades probably like at 500,000 subscribers on YouTube alone, and he has a following. He's doing really good, but it's very grassroots and very independent. He still has a lot growing to do, but he brings on great guests, keeps it going 24/7, and he's always quick with the news. And so recently, and Don has always been very vocal, very unfiltered and controversial with his stances and views. I think at some point he was very too controversial for CNN, but I think that's what helped their ratings. In all honesty, recently at the funeral of the late Jimmy Carter, former President Jimmy Carter, at his funeral, there was a picture that showed all past. There was a scene where all past presidents were sitting like side by side. You had George, I believe H.W. Bush. You had Joe Biden. You had Bill Clinton, you had Barack Obama, and then you had Donald Trump. Excuse me. And Barack Obama was sitting next to Donald Trump, which was very interesting because we know the relationship between the two of them. We know the relationship between Democrats and Donald Trump alone. Really, every single past president that attended, even Bush, there's a clip showing Bush did not embrace or shake hands with Biden. I mean, I'm sorry, with Donald Trump. He embraced Obama. He embraced the former VPs, even Mike Pence as well, former Vice President Mike Pence. No one really paid attention to to Donald. It was like one of those ones, like, why is he here? Why is he sitting here? Can he go, please? I don't. Why is he sitting here? And so it was that kind of atmosphere. Now, prior, all the past presidents was in a room. They probably all communicated and socialized, but they were showing kind of a image. There was an image of Barack and Donald Trump communicating. They were socializing. They were having a conversation. They even showed Donald's laughed at one point, and then also Barack had laughed at one point. Boy, would I love to be a fly on the wall to listen in on that conversation. But it showed that, okay, is this a sign of the future? Is this show that they can really be cordial toward each other? And honestly, to me, it was a great sight to see, presidents from opposing aisles, once opponents, probably once in the past said bad things together, come together because they're giving praise and honoring the passing of a very respected president, and at the time the oldest living president. I mean, Jimmy Carter lived to see 100 years. All right, so that was a beautiful sight to see. But a lot of folks are just irritated and they're frustrated with Barack embracing, having a conversation with them, this and that and the other. And it was just, they didn't like it. So let me play you this soundbite because Don Lemon had shared this on his show after playing a clip. And I don't know if I have the clip. Matter of fact, let me actually I'll play a little bit of this clip that was on MSNBC from Morning Joe. It was former Republican Maryland Lieutenant Governor, and former Republican RNC Michael Steele speaking with Joe Scarborough. I'm not going to share the whole clip, but let me just play you a little bit of that, and let me see if I actually still have it. Because I might have already got rid of it. Let me see here. Do I not have it? All right, hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna get it. Let's see here. Because I actually reposted it on my Instagram because it showed a still registered Republican, but a man with common sense and a man with okay, let's be real here. Let's speak on this. Let me see. Is this it right here? There we go. All righty. So I just want to share a little bit of this where Michael Steele and Joe Scarborough, they argue over being civil to the twice impeached convicted criminal felon in chief, that is Donald J. Trump. So let me go ahead and play you this soundbite real quick, and then we'll talk on the other side. Let me get that clip for you.
Conversation.
Michael, I'm not saying we're walking in a winter wonderland.
Joe, you had your moment. Let me just finish the point. I get that.
Tell us something we don't know.
Well, I'm telling you something that you seem to forget. And let me make my point. You may not like it, but I'm going to make it. And the reality of it is, I take your civility argument, and you like to say 78 million people voted for Donald Trump. Well, 82 million people voted for Joe Biden.
Right.
And he didn't get that civility that you're talking about from Donald Trump in those 4 years.
Right.
So now the expectation is, because he's won again and he got 78 million people, we all got to be civil to Donald Trump. Well, okay, I'm prepared to be civil.
Nobody said that.
You did.
No, I didn't say
that.
So I didn't say everybody has to be civil.
The reality of it is, you're using the term civil. I've never used that term. I'm using your term. You put civility on the table.
You said we all have to be civil. There is a pushback that you have to have.
But Joe, I'm
just talking about Barack Obama.
I'm just saying, but I'm saying, I'm not, fine. I'm not talking about that. My main point is everybody's looking at this from a one-way perspective, how we need to approach Donald Trump. How the hell is he approaching us?
Yeah.
Right? The man wants to lock up citizens. The man wants to turn the government against him. How are we to respond to that? Are we supposed to be civil?
Michael, do you think we don't know that?
Doesn't seem like it.
Michael, why do you...
Not you. I'm just saying the broader you.
Why do you feel the need to create false choices?
I'm not.
All right. So that was a pretty tense moment right there with between two long known personalities on MSNBC, and Michael Steele is someone that I respect. You know, he will let you know, look, I'm a registered Republican. Will always be a Republican. But at one point, it's like, it's people over politics. I'm pro my people as far as people of color, minorities. I'm pro what's best for the, for the overall. But I have a conservative view. I'm a registered Republican. Really, he's probably one of the most successful and well-known Republicans, especially on MSNBC. Like, that's a pretty big deal. And there's other former Republican elected officials that are, paid employees with MSNBC. But what he was saying was making sense. I'm pro civility, right? I'm pro, why can we all get along but also have opposing views and opinions without making it this back and forth, right? Now, what Michael Steele is sharing is that, when has Trump ever been civil to us? All this is, and it gets on my nerves because people tend to forget who started this crap show in the first place. It was Donald Trump. He's the one that started off with the insults. He started off with the personal attacks. He started off this huge riot, insurrection at January 6th at the Capitol. He has always been the ultimate gaslighter since he has even contemplating on running for office. That has been the same momentum ever since he's been in office, and ever since he's been this newfound voice in the world of politics. He's changed. Look, I'll give it to him. He's changed the game of politics. He's changed the Republican Party. He's changed the way folks view politicians. He's changed the structure. He's changed the culture, of everything. Now I bring back the topic that I have up here. Is Don Lemon right? Because Don shared a reaction to that, as well as the the image and the video of him, of Donald Trump and Barack Obama embracing each other. So let me play you that clip, and then I'll share my thoughts on that.
Folks are tired of the behavior being normalized. Civiling your morals and your principles and your character. If someone disrespects my loved one, I don't have to smile in their face, and their can't stand up for.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. We have some technical difficulties with that. Hold on. Let me go ahead and let me go ahead and get that back for you all. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Because we're having some issues. with that. Give me 1 second. We're gonna go ahead and play. We're gonna go ahead and play that one more time for you all. So give me a second. So I'm replaying that clip of journalist Don Lemon sharing his thoughts on the whole civility piece. So here's what he had to say about that.
Folks are tired of the behavior being normalized. Civility does not mean befriending people or foregoing your morals and your principles and your character. If someone disrespects my loved one, I don't have to smile in their face. And they're going to know it. If Ted Cruz can't stand up for his wife that Donald Trump calls ugly, then who is he going to stand up for? Now, listen, it could be, you guys could be right. Barack Obama is classy. He's a classy guy. But these are the very same MAGA people who have called, and Donald Trump has helped promote, calling Michelle Obama a man. I'm not smiling in your face if you're calling my sister or my mother or my wife or girlfriend a man. F you. Folks are.
I mean, whoo, he had a lot to say right there, right, folks? He had a lot of stuff to say. Now, is he wrong? No. Does Don sometimes go on these rants like this? Yes. Look, he's a self-made man. He owns his own company. He calls the shots. He can say whatever the hell he wants to say. Now, multiple things I want to dissect with that. Don is absolutely right when it comes to, yes, I don't care if the man won twice. I don't care. At the end of the day, where was my apology? Okay. Where, why should I respond and kiss the ring? Why? Because you're at the helm now? No. You still said what you said. You never took anything back. You've always been. And so why do I have to be cordial and be civil? Look, kudos to former President Barack Obama because he is a civil guy. He is a very respected guy. I've said it this tons of times on this program. I personally do not know Donald Trump. Do I agree with his policies? Absolutely not. Do I? And look, there might be some things I would be like, okay, I understand. I agree. Like, look, I have conservative views too, so I'll be like, okay, I understand that choice and that point. Now, I've said it like this: I got nothing against the Republican Party. Donald Trump as a person, I totally dislike. I dislike. He wouldn't be a person that I would want to invite to a gathering. Would I want to have the opportunity to interview him? Absolutely. I'm not crazy. But I know he will be yes or all around that interview. He wouldn't be upfront. I would like to have just a long-standing. I would like to have give me a Joe Rogan. I want hours with this guy to really be like, okay, why did you say this, and why aren't you never apologizing for it? Like, where does this? Like, that's what I want to have. I want to have a conversation, and I'm up to having a conversation. I'm close. I have friends. I have family that are Trump supporters. Okay. They support him. They voted for him. Does that mean no, I will never let political opinions get in the way of that's just me. I don't care. Now, is that saying, oh, Arrington, you're a sellout because what if such and such had he supports I don't know. He supports white supremacists and this and the other. Look, it's a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard pill to swallow. There's been information. I mean, there has been public information where he says there's good Americans on both sides throughout that Charlottesville, and that's the reason why I personally dislike. Now, a lot of my friends happen to directed to policy and not the person. A lot of them has always said that, hey, look, I don't like the person. Now, there's folks that just you worship the grounds he walk on, they probably want to suck his toes. All right. That then we got a problem. I'm sorry, I can't hang with you, bro. I look at you funny. Ma'am, I look at you funny. All right. People that look at him as the savior, and oh, he's here to no, that's a bunch of, as my wife says, balagna, not baloney, but balagna. She's like, no, that's balagna. It is. Don Lemon was absolutely right. You know, Don is very passionate when it comes to that. Don't insult my people and think I'm gonna be cordial with you, bro. Now, like I said, for the sake of the event and the time, it was at a funeral. Cameras everywhere is on him. Of course, you want to be cordial. Look, Barack ain't stupid. Excuse me. Former President Barack Obama, he's not stupid. He's a very smart man. He knows everybody's watching, everybody's looking. Let me continue to make this cordial. Let me be good, and we're gonna keep it moving from there. But best believe once I get in my car and I get home to Michelle, I'm gonna be like, nope. Do not like that man. I don't like him at all. Michelle, he smells kind of funny. Michelle, him and his wife, they don't act lovey-dovey like we do, Michelle. Like that's excuse me. That's probably what he was telling her. But look, I don't disagree. Again, I don't disagree. I will say I am team civil discourse and, you know, finding a compromise and really, you know, dissecting this. Now, look, I don't have the information to say that Trump has called Barack Obama's wife out of her name. Probably you can find it because he's known to saying a lot of off the wall stuff. Now, if his folks that support Trump or that's been on the campaign trail and then they've said it, I get it. But Barack's like, hey, look, I only gonna see you really for this short time. Let me, I guess, chop it up with you a little bit, whatever. But you know, I have the question to ask you guys: was Don right in that case? Right? Should we be civil in a case like this and just, you know, or just no? I don't have to talk with you. Are you civil with some of your friends or family or people that you know might be, you know, work with that are Trump supporters or that voted for him? Like, how are you towards them? How's your response? How's your take on it? Please leave a comment at the bottom of this video, or if you listen to this on via podcast, please give me your take on that. Let's see here. We're going to move it on before we take it to a commercial break. Let's move on to our next topic. This has been receiving a lot of heat right here. So, but staying in the political scene. So during the inauguration weekend, there have been so many events occurring. Now, the first one that shocked everybody at the time was what is her name? Carrie Underwood, right? Carrie Underwood, she was gonna be performing. She performed America the Beautiful, and people were like, "Oh my goodness, what happened?" Honestly, a lot of folks in the black community were like, "It doesn't shock me," because hey, she's a country music star. I'm sorry to make it into a race thing, but also it's not as a shocker from the lens of a minority to see another white individual vote for a white individual. That's not a shocker now, especially when she's a country music artist. Now, if she was an R&B or a pop star, maybe, or, you know, someone that is more on the Hollywood scene, then you'll be like, oh, that's a shocker. But she's a country music star, Tennessee all day, every day, Texas, wherever, you know, southern state she lives in. It's not a shocker. Now, she's always kept her political views quiet. She has always been vocal about her faith. So then you kind of start saying, maybe she does lean a little more conservative. She's always seemed a very sweet individual. So I would assume that somebody as disgusting as Donald Trump wouldn't be a preference of hers, she probably would have voted for like a Nikki Haley. All right. But she is performing. She had performed. Excuse me. She performed "America the Beautiful" during the inauguration. I've said it times and times again. So what? Who cares? She's an artist. It's as a when it comes to the branding and the business side of it. Look, you're performing in front of a newly elected president of the United States. That's an honor, regardless if you like the person. That's an honor. So who cares about the criticism? Now, here's been some criticism from folks. So the first person was Nelly. It was told that Nelly was going to be performing. Nelly was going to be performing at the. I'll show this image. Nelly first. I'll show Nelly first, and then I'll show the other individuals. Nelly was the first person that was going to be was announced that was going to be performing for Donald Trump again. Was I shocked? Not really. Why? Because it's not like Nelly has new music. It's not like Nelly he's always going to be an iconic figure. But look, Nelly got a new baby a newborn, newly married to Ashanti. Nelly has been on tour with country music artists. Nelly about that paper. All right. Nelly need the money. All right. So that didn't shock me. It didn't surprise me. Whatever. Then this one did shock me. All right. This one did shock me. And it was Snoop D-O-double-G. You hear me? Snoop D-O-double-G. Now let me go ahead and see. Do I have that? Let me pull up this real quick. Snoop Dogg, who has been very vocal about his opinions of Donald Trump, like literally, he posted he had posted years ago during the first administration or during the campaign cycle of when Trump was first running. Snoop Dogg called out all black conservatives. All right, like majority of the black conservative, and that was his thought. He was very vocal about his dislike towards Donald Trump and his dislike towards black people that will vote for him. Because kind of consider them, quote unquote, calling them sellouts and whatnot. So Snoop Dogg performed at an inauguration party that was really catered to praising Trump, and it was at the first ever crypto ball celebration of Donald Trump's imminent inauguration as president of the United States. He's performing on stage, DJing, got the crowd going, stuff like that. Now, I'll be honest, majority of the folks in that crowd did not look like people of color. All right. Okay. He wasn't alone. He shared the stage with Rick Ross, Soujia Boy. A lot of folks are pissed. You hear me? Pissed at, okay, what are we doing here, folks? What are we doing here? Let me go ahead and see if I can. So that was he had Snoop, Rick Ross. For those who are watching, I'm not playing the music, but you got Rick Ross performing up there. You got Soujia Boy performing up there, and so many individuals that was on that stage. Now, folks seem betrayed. Folks are calling them sellouts. Folks are calling them clowns. Folks are saying, okay, you literally said before that this was your feelings towards these folks, and let's see, it's a calling folks and I'm quoting Uncle Tom A.N. All right, that's what he called them. And so a lot of folks are like, okay, what are you doing, Snoop? Like, what's your position? What do you have to say for yourself? And so, and here's another image. Snoop having a picture with a gentleman wearing a MAGA hat, but this time the MAGA hat is not red and white, it's black. So that's a bit odd, might I say. And so folks on the left have spoken on their opinions on it. I would say this. Once again, it doesn't surprise me that folks, especially in the hip hop community, well, I won't say hip hop community, but figures like that, because look, they're all about that paper. They're all about that money. At the end of the day, they're all about that money. So look, did Snoop probably get paid a hell of a lot of money? Absolutely. Would I would have done the same thing? Ooh, I'm about my paper, but I get the backlash because you were seen being so vocal, anti this, anti that, rather than like at least Nelly was never really talking about politics. Same with Rick Ross. They just talked about money, this, money, that, money, that, money, this, money, that. The reason why I would defend Snoop, but I will also criticize him at the same time. But I'll tell you why I'm defending him. It's not like the man was on the campaign trail speaking at Trump rallies voting for Trump. All right. He was not at MAGA movements like Antonio Brown, like Lawrence Taylor, like Herschel Walker, like Thomas Hearns, Hall of Fame boxer. It's not like he was that kind of individual. No. He was, let me play this. I'm gonna play this soundbite for you really soon. All right. It's not like he was on the campaign trail. He performed he performed one at an event that was honoring the newly elected president. Regardless of who was going to be in office, he might have just said, hey, look, I'm performing for this because he is a new president. He won fair and square. Why am I going to keep on spewing out my hatred towards the guy? Look, he won. What am I going to say? He got 4 years. He can't run again. Whatever. F it. It's not like he is. Again, it's not like he was speaking or he was talking in support of saying, "Look, I vote for him. I vote for him." Look, he's performing for the newly elected president. That's why I'm not as over it. I'm not as furious. I'm not as, the way the world is like, say, Snoop, how could you? No, I'm still gonna be a huge Snoop fan. I would love to meet him. I would love to, I'll still, embrace him with open arms. I won't have any heat. I would say though, okay, I would be curious to be like, okay, what's your stances? What's your views on Trump? Would you have, or did you vote for him for one? What's your stances on policy, and then what's the principle? Like, what principle? You can see why folks are upset because he said so many harsh things. This is the same guy that really disrespected a black female journalist in front, and really disrespected a room of black journalists during the NABJ convention. Remember that. Keith Boykins, he's a former Clinton White House aide. He is a regular on CNN, and this is what he had to say in response to guys like Soujia Boy, Nelly, Rick Ross, and Snoop Dogg performing during the inauguration, at the inauguration for Donald Trump. Let me go ahead and play this, and then we'll talk on the other side.
It's also a dishonor to the black community.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at Donald Trump, the man who would refuse to rent to black people in the 1970s, who tried to lead a lynch mob against 5 black and brown kids in the 1980s for the Central Park case, who refused to allow black casino workers to have a prominent place in his casinos in Atlantic City in the 1990s, who spent 5.5 years lying about Barack Obama's birth certificate in the 2000s, who came into office and then attacked black people like Colin Kaepernick, who attacked Ruby Freeman and her daughter Shay Moss for simply doing their jobs as Fulton County election workers. You dishonor those people when you go and perform for this man who has done nothing but dishonor black people. And just last year, he was calling Haitian immigrants, accusing them of eating cats and dogs. This is not somebody that black people should be associated with and pretending to normalize. We should be challenging him. And it dishonors the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King. It's also a dishonor to the black community.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at,
and he is right. I mean, look, Inauguration Day was on MLK Day. Out of all days, right? Out of all days, it was on MLK Day. I'll share a few more of my some of the comments after the video of seeing Snoop. First of all, I posted this. You can check it out on my Instagram. I reposted this on my Instagram saying, I hope and pray that these rappers didn't use the N-word during their lyrics, during their songs, because let me tell you something. In that crowd that was a MAGA crowd. So if they use the N-word, then and I got even a bigger problem, because okay, are you making it okay to consider using the N-word in front of folks that probably call you that too and address you as that? Look, you just their entertainment. You're their puppets. Snoop Dogg is up there. When do you see Snoop Dogg DJing? When is Snoop Dogg? He's his own hype man and he's his rapper. It's just him on the stage rapping and holding the mic. Like, what is this? What is this, Snoop? You got too much money. You got too much money. And you probably pissed off Martha too, because Martha don't really mess with Donald like that. But here's some of the comments, and then I'll move on to the a quick commercial. One person has said this is culturally embarrassing and disrespectful as F. Another person says Nipsey and Pac would never, referring to the late greats Tupac Shakur and Nipsey Hussle. Another person said, not a check in the world worth selling my soul to the devil. Another person said, the condemnation continued on Twitter and X. We not gonna let you forget this, Snoop. One former fan promised, stay in MAGA world. Don't want to hear S from you ever again. I mean, Snoop, you're gonna have to have a lot of you gotta answer to a lot of folks, man, because now you put yourself over community, over people. You did. He did. And that's the whole issue that I have with Trump. A lot of folks that I speak with, it's always them over how he can cause harm to the community as a whole, to the world, to the nation, rather than just, oh, he can benefit me in this aspect, he can benefit me in that aspect. He been me, I. Look, I know my family and I, we're gonna be all right, regardless of who's in office. That's why it's best that you, when it comes to finances, it's best that you save wisely, spend wisely. Don't do stupid stuff with your money. All right. Let's just be honest. Now, don't get me wrong. Prices and things were expensive. But, folks, we've all had moments where we struggled. We've all had moments where we struggled. Trust me, when it comes to voting, who you want to vote in office, it's important. Don't get me wrong, it's important. But this individual, in my opinion, was never the answer. My friends, I'm gonna talk a little more about this on Substack, so please check out my Substack, ArringtonGavin.substack. I'll share a little more about this conflict, this issue, and the backlash that they're receiving. Let me go ahead and take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll have more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Do not go anywhere. We have more.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
What is happening, my friends? Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. Look, as I mentioned earlier, I want to talk about this TikTok ban. This TikTok ban has been occurring for quite a while last year, with the U.S. threatening, almost giving like the Chinese an ultimatum, Chinese companies that own TikTok, because to U.S. leaders, they looked at TikTok as a threat to democracy, as a threat to American people as far as data access and things like personal information, things like that. This was shared over the weekend to viewers, to consumers and people that was on TikTok. It says here that we regret that a U.S. law banning TikTok will take effect on January 19th and force us to make our services temporarily unavailable. We're working to restore our service in the U.S. as soon as possible, and we appreciate your support. Please stay tuned. There were folks that were very upset about this because, look, TikTok had created a lot of successful individuals, millionaires, businesses strictly on TikTok. It is a lot. It is a lot. I know a couple that I'm, from since high school, that has really gained a career. They have over 1 million followers on TikTok. I would love to actually get them on very soon, but they have about a little over 1 million followers on TikTok and about 500,000 on Instagram. Doing really good, really good. This article I want to read. This is from Politico. It says here that for now, users can dismiss the message and continue scrolling through videos, but starting at midnight, it will soon become illegal for any company to distribute, maintain, or update TikTok, as the Supreme Court upheld a law forcing that the app to server ties from Beijing-based ByteDance. App stores have not shared their plans, but they risk potential bankruptcy, inducing fines of $5,000 a day per user if they keep offering the app. Now, the possibility of TikTok return will not lie with incoming President Donald Trump, who has promised to broker a deal to save the app and is considering granting it a 90-day extension. The company is likely to have significant business and legal hurdles and compete for attention with a raft of new day priorities. Now, it can all change in the heat of a moment. So much stuff. I'll try and keep you posted through our social media because so much stuff could occur more, and I'll follow up with you a little more with this information. Kevin O'Leary, he's one of the judges or sharks on Shark Tank, has announced a $20 billion cash offer to acquire TikTok's U.S. operations from its Chinese parent company, ByteDance. This move comes in response, obviously, to the U.S. Supreme Court recent decision upholding a federal law that mandates TikTok to divest its Chinese ownership or face a ban in the United States. Now, O'Leary is a partnership with Project Liberty founder Frank McCourt, aims to address national security concerns by prioritizing users' privacy and data control. So he has been the first person that I've seen him a lot on different news platforms making that bid, saying, "Hey, look, I got the cash. I'm making an offer. Hopefully they'll accept it." He's a personality. He's a character on Shark Tank. He could be kind of arrogant too, but hey, what else is new? Before, because I'm looking at my time, very quickly, I want to let me see if I can find it. Where you at, my friend? There is a clip that I wanted to show you guys that I thought was hilarious. There was a Georgia state senator, and it went viral because he was escorted out of the Georgia. Here we go. Out of the Georgia Capitol, and I'm like, what in the world? I mean, I'll tell you. First of all, the GOP members, I mean, I guess they're known to not care about storming capitals. Okay, let's just be honest. This gentleman right here, his name is let's see. What is his name? What is this crazy man's name? State Senator Colton Moore. Let me go ahead and see if I can pull this up for you guys in this short time we got. Colton Moore. Let's see. Is that a good clip? Let me see if I can make this a little bigger for you guys. There we go. That's what I want. Alrighty, so let me go ahead and play this for you, and we'll talk.
You don't have to be in the way. You're breaking the law too. Stop. That's it's gone too far. It has gone too far.
After that push, it has gone too far.
I represent 200,000 people in Northwest Georgia who duly elected me to be here today. And you're hindering that. Unconstitutional.
Go ahead.
You have no respect for the Constitution.
I need you to step away.
Complete disrespect to the Constitution.
I need you to step away from the door now. Okay. The doorkeeper said you were not allowed to.
Sir, the doorkeeper has no authority.
Sir,
As a senator of a joint session, I have more authority than this doorkeeper of the House.
I'm gonna have to play some more of that on the next episode because I know we're getting short on time. But let me go ahead and let me go ahead and read this more in context for you all. So this senator, as I mentioned, Georgia State Senator, who was previously banned from the State House chamber, was arrested when he tried to enter the chamber for the governor's State of State speech and got into a shoving match with House employees. State Senator Colton Moore, a Republican from Trenton, is among the chamber's most right-wing members. He signaled recently that he would seek showdown when he called House Speaker John Burns a fellow Republican and a tyrant on social media. The arrest is one of several examples of the state officials trying to restrain lawmakers or onlookers as legislative sessions begin in 2025. Burns banned Moore from the House chamber last year after Moore denounced late House Speaker David Ralston on a day when Ralston was being honored and his relatives were watching. In a speech, Moore called Ralston one of the most corrupt Georgia leaders we'll ever see over allegations that Ralston improperly delayed court cases he handled as a lawyer. Burns called Moore's remarks vile when he announced the ban, saying it would remain until Moore apologizes. Obviously, looks like this guy is not apologizing. He's a piece of work. That's all I can say. And look, good for his ass. Excuse my French, but that you saw that guy shove him and he got up and like, we do have an issue. It has gone too far. I got more authority than this guy. I got more authority than that guy. Look, that is where the country is. And I'm sorry, but yo, the GOP, y'all got to do better. Y'all got to talk with your folks. Politics in general, both sides, y'all crazy. Y'all really crazy. Y'all got to get your stuff together. My friends, look, it's coming to my time. Be sure to continue to follow and tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. We air Monday through Fridays on all digital and streaming platforms. You can also listen to us on our radio affiliate, WDJY 99.1 FM, Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m., as well as WDJYFM.com. You can check us out wherever you get your podcasts, as well as on the streaming platforms of YouTube and Rumble at the Arrington Gavin Show. As I mentioned before, follow us on Instagram. I truly appreciate that. And all social media platforms, X, Blue Sky, what else? Substack, everything. Peace and blessings. Y'all stay safe out there. And I'm out. I'll see you next time.